Right now, I'm in the middle of a 6-month overview continuing education course with Dan Siegel, and I am mind blown. I absolutely love the curriculum, and I appreciate him just as an individual. He's so kind and gentle and wise, intelligent, and has so much to offer. So I'm really enjoying the course through Mindsight Institute, and it's an online course. So I'm getting so much out of it, even as I'm reviewing bits and pieces every day and letting it integrate. And the reason that I decided to take this course was because one of my colleagues was taking it and she said, "Hey, you should think about this." But really, the reason is because I love the life model, and I know that a lot of Dan Siegel's information coincides and even has informed the life model and its development. And so I want to know more about the life model. I love the life model, it's my number one. And I feel like Dan Siegel's information is undergirding it, kind of giving me an even deeper foundation and also bringing in a deeper understanding of the researchers involved behind all of this interpersonal neurobiology and the science of belonging. My name is Monica Maurer. I am a licensed therapist. I'm also the director of the Center for Transformation Institute. At our institute, we exist to partner with therapists, to come alongside therapists and help them enhance personal growth as well as professional growth and outcomes. We're looking to do that for ourselves as well. We are a small group of therapists who has landed on the life model as our foundational approach to our practice, both personally and professionally, and we have seen drastic and dramatic effects in our own lives, in our own relationships, and in the way that we treat clients, and it's affecting clients profoundly. In fact, the life model, when people really get attached to it and kind of allow themselves to understand and implement the strategies, the clients are seeing amazing impact, as well as those in my friends and family members who are taking it on as well. So I am so excited to present today in this episode the comparison between interpersonal neurobiology and the life model, as these two are very closely related in so many ways, and they have some different aspects to them as well. So first I will discuss this idea of how they are similar. Interpersonal neurobiology with Dan Siegel, and the life model. Dr. Jim Wilder is the main neurotheologian with life model. Both came about of the research of Alan Shore of UCLA as well. Dan Siegel and Alan Shore are both of UCLA professors and researchers. And Alan Shore actually conducted the research of the first study of the live brain in the 90s and offered us all some deep, impactful understanding of the human brain and of primary emotions, of joy, of what it means to belong. And so as Dan Siegel grabbed that information and kind of took it to the bank, so to speak, he has developed an amazing curriculum with interpersonal neurobiology. And I don't even know if I can count the number of books that Dan Siegel has written. And most of us as therapists and psychologists really utilize Dan Siegel's work as primary foundation for our understanding of the human brain and what it is to be in relationship. And as Siegel would call it, the mind, right? The mind, not just the embodied brain, but the mind as the entire energy system of a human. And so the way that I see these two as similar is that the life model has used that same research with Alan Shore and has developed its understanding of humanity and human development and the brain through that same lens. And so there's a lot of similarities in terms of the concept of what it means to connect with human to human connection. connecting with other humans. The life model calls that connection belonging. What does it mean to belong to another person or to a group of people? Life model talks about the idea of, the coupleship bond, or the one-on-one bond between one other person, being a component, only just a component of what it means to belong to a group. In that the 3+ bond, the family bond, is the strongest bond that exists. And Dan Siegel talks so much about what it means to be in connection with other humans. Interpersonal neurobiology, right? What is it to be a human and to have our energy system come into synchronized attachment, synchronized experience with one another, so that we can be optimally integrated. Dan Siegel talks a lot about this idea of integration. And interestingly enough, as I'm learning more about Dan Siegel, I'm finding out he is a specialist in terms of dissociative identity disorder, which Dr. Wilder is as well. So both are out of California. Dr. Wilder did a lot of his primary practice in the Pasadena area, where Dan Siegel is at UCLA. So amazing minds that are bringing this cutting edge research to us, and doing that in powerful ways that are affecting a lot of us as clinicians as we research and follow what they're researching. And it's then having direct impact on our clients. And I think that as therapists, that's why we are so excited about engaging with these researchers and teachers who are bringing us this information, because then we have the opportunity to take it to our clients. We have this opportunity to impact our clients in powerful ways. And oftentimes we know that coming to therapy is a last resort for people. Maybe they've tried everything else, and now they've landed in our office and they really are in desperate need. And as humans who have gone into this field, we're compassionate. We want to meet those needs. We want to meet those needs with the most amazing information possible. So these two curriculums are very similar in that they're both about human connection and what it means to be connected, and that is the primary place that as humans we're designed to be in relationship with other humans, and that's the optimal setting, is that when we are in quality, synchronized, connected, bonded, safe, secure, soothed, and seen relationship with other humans. Now, there are some differences, so I'll discuss that right now. And the differences that I see in these two is primarily that the life model is a faith-based experience, and so it is Christian in its foundation, where interpersonal neurobiology is not. It's science. Not that Dan Siegel is against faith, because he really is. I was able to hear him speak twice. One was in person at the AACC conference, and the other was at the ITAP conference that I attended just this last spring. And in that conference, he spoke about a relationship he had with, I think it was an Irish priest who called himself a mystic. And Dan Siegel said, "What's a mystic?" And the priest told him what it was, and he said, "Well, then I think I'm a mystic too." Right? It's when you believe in something bigger than yourself, something beyond your understanding. And I think a lot of times as scientists go into their discoveries, they discover, oh my gosh, there's so much more than I ever knew and that I will ever be able to know. But the life model is Christian in its foundation, and so we learn a lot about theology, about the Bible, about how we relate to God when we work with the life model. There's so much in the life model foundation about, even in the maturity, the checklist, the maturity chart, the developmental model, about what it means to grow not just in relationship with others but also with God, and what does it look like to understand the family of God, and at a young age, and to grow into that. There's also the Life Model has partnered with Carl Lehman, who is a psychiatrist who has developed a inner healing experience called the Emmanuel healing process, and he has written books about that. And so that takes you into a place of connecting with God as an experiential way of healing, much like we would do with EMDR or other prayer healing techniques like theophostic prayer. So the Life Model brings interpersonal neurobiology into the Christian realm so that we can understand at a deeper level what it is to know God in a way that we can be secure in our attachment to Him, and in that be able to heal ourselves and live in that space of Emmanuel presence so that we can be whole and we can offer that same wholeness to others. And that's as we learn to mature, we can provide belonging even to those who maybe previously would have annoyed us or provided difficulty for us. So I look forward to continuing this conversation. I look forward to us being together in future episodes to learn more about the Life Model and how it applies to us as therapists.